Hello, welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne Row. I'm Wayne Hollier, Bone Adhesives.
Wow. You okay?
Yeah,
You did that one really fast.
yeah, right.
I'm Rob Johnson from the Bona Training.
Hey, Rob, we had a lot of, and I mean a lot of really good emails and text messages and stuff sent into the show. We had a contest. We already announced the winners, and a couple of people asked me if is it too late to enter, and unfortunately, we had already announced well, fortunately for the guys who won, but we had already announced the winner, so we couldn't get any more in. But the contest we had of what did you learn from the show, and we said, I don't know if we should have said this or not, but it doesn't have to be something really technical, really smart or whatever. It could be anything. We got some pretty funny responses, and
Oh my gosh. A couple of these really just cracked me up.
yeah. So I thought maybe we'd read some of these along the way.
Absolutely.
All right. And by the way, Ryan Jazz, the what's Jazz Custom Wood Flooring? Jazz Dewowski. Sorry, I'm butchering your last name there. From the great state of Wisconsin. Asked about your spaghetti recipe. Did you ever get that to him?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. That was bugging me. I was watching the Food Network last night and I was making spaghetti and I went, oh man, I wonder if we ever got that guy's. Okay. So anyhow, Ryan, uh, if you haven't done the recipe yet, I have to give it up to Rob. It's probably the best spaghetti I ever ate in my life, other than my wife's. I've been married for 44 years, Rob, for a
So
reason.
what was his name?
Ryan.
What was his first name?
That was his first name, Ryan. What do you think is Ryan's not his first name?
No, because I had another guy. I'm pretty sure I sent it to him.
Oh, maybe you sent
If
it to the wrong guy.
I'm gonna double check because I
Did
think I
you?
sent it to two guys because I had another guy,
Okay.
David Runyon, who wanted the a stain chart cheat sheet and the spaghetti recipe. So he had also sent me an email.
Yeah, this is Ryan with Jazz Custom Wood Floors, Custom Wood Flooring,
Okay.
Wisconsin. He's a certified inspector, by the way, sand finisher and inspector. Right on.
All right. All right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure I sent him the recipe too.
Okay.
I know my recipe, it's no Wayne Highlander contract
I
that has just taken off. You should have charged like $5 for that. You'd
would
have
have
made
made
some money.
I would have made out okay.
Yeah, you'd have done good with that.
Yeah.
Right.
I would give you a couple bucks.
That boy. All right. I'm gonna read what David. You want me to start? I'll read what
Yes.
David Runyon said.
Yeah, please do.
All right. So, like I said, he wanted a stain chart from us. We get the regular bonus stain chart, but then we have another stain chart. If you're looking under documents, go to uh, contractor brochure, and then you can see like 70 different blends of all bonus stains to get all sorts of good custom colors. So
Okay.
so
Hold
we
on.
have the original 26 colors, but we also have the ratios to get like another 70 colors. So
You hold up. You said go to documents. Do they need to go to the website first?
yeah, yeah. Go to
Under-
dry fast stain, Bona dry fast stain,
Okay.
then scroll down to documents, hit documents, and then scroll down to contractor brochure. Or just go right to, dry fast stain contractor brochure.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Just
All right.
clarifying that.
All right. So I'm going to try to read. Now, remember,
Can't read all these.
my eyes are I'm still working on the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Had the eye surgery, so just bear with me. All right, you ready? Here we go. David Runyon. The summer is coming podcast you guys did was so on max volume this week as I strained and finished all the interior doors, casings, base, trim, etc. And it was as not as hot as I've been since 2008. You guys came through, regardless of Wayne's garble chiming in the background. The 2 point calculation information was a good reminder for me to write that info down and keep it with the standard operations procedures for finishing and seasonal weather concerns in Virginia. When it's 90 degrees and humidity, there is a way to them. The early morning and night shift coating might be the only option to have for water base to go down properly. So there was one of my guys who loved the dew point calculator stuff.
Maybe the only guy.
You see?
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
how he nailed your chirping in the background.
I think that's why you liked it because you talked about my.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was the guy?
I normally never say things like this, but I'm more excited for that recipe, that sauce recipe, than I am for the stain. Haha. This is great stuff. Thank you. So
Very
thank you.
nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Take the time to email. Hello, Rob. And Rob didn't include me at all. But my name is Alex. Just want to share my story and thank you guys for what you do for the industry. I've started doing floors 3 years ago when I learned so much from your podcast. Every episode, I learned something new. I've been one of your schools in Charlotte and the best school experience I've ever had. There are so many times when I ran into issues and remember you've been talking about it on the podcast, went back, rewatched it, and found an answer. I'll just point out one episode, episode 113, when you had a guest, John Highlander, talking about using Bondo for repairs. And I use it all the time now. I've made a video a while ago doing such a repair. I'll leave a link. I mostly do recoats and repairs, but more and more often I get a sand job, and you guys help a lot in my journey to become a craftsman. I appreciate you and Wayne and Bono. That's very nice.
That's awesome. All right. Awesome.
You want to remember who the winners are again?
Yeah. Go through the who the winners are. Was he one of the winners?
No. I don't know.
Yeah. First place is Bill Powell.
Yeah. Bill Powell from Powell Floors won first place for the Bow speakers. Travis, I hope I'm pronouncing Thibodeau from T Squared Wood Flooring won the skill tool. And Alex, yeah, Alex. No last name, but he's with Resto Floor. He won the bento box.
So that's the guy you just read?
I think so, yes. All right, we got an email from Travis. Travis Thibodeau with T Squared Flooring. I hope I pronounce your name properly. He says, now this is after, 7 years of episodes of imparting a lot of knowledge on the show. We've had inspectors on here, Howard Brickman, John Namba, some of the best minds in the business. And he says, Eileen, I've learned so much from listening to the show, but by far my favorite tip came from Wayne Highlander, and that was to keep a little jar of paint in the van that you can put a little dab or two on the client's cookie jar after you sneak a few. This advice has paid dividends since I heard it on the show. It was a real knee slapper. Thanks for everything you're all doing. Travis, that
That's
cracked me up, man.
that's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that way you got painters on the job. Yeah, who are they going to blame? You're free. That's a get out of jail free card.
That I'll tell you what, that is classic.
Yeah.
That is a classic one.
All right.
All
Uh,
right. So this next one is from Pedro, our friend Pedro Carrera. And he lives in New York, but I always see him when I'm in Jersey. Good morning. Greetings on the floor with Wayne and Rob community. The program is broadcast online. My experience is waiting for Wednesdays and listening to you all. You make my day. Good topics of interest. Good topics of interest to the wood flooring industry. Many experiences between Wayne and Rob. The show's guests, Robbie Smith, Matt Garcia, to name a few, contribute their industry experience. I've had the opportunity to be mentioned a few times on the show for my volunteer help in training classes at the New Jersey RTC. Truly, This is a program that everyone in the industry should listen to. Best of luck and many future programs. Happy 7th anniversary. Best regards, my good friend Pedro Carrera.
Very kind of you, Pedro. Thank you very much, and all your help and everything. So thank you so much. Um, I never thought anybody would congratulate me on my anniversary with you. Uh, but I guess I'm synonymous with you now everywhere I go. Where's Rob?
Yep.
How's Rob doing?
My favorite thing is when I go to a class and they go, "Hey, is Wayne coming?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
Wayne coming?"
hmm
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Wayne
yeah,
stopped working a long time ago.
yeah.
You
You
got
got
me.
me.
You
Yes.
got me. And this came to us from our good friend, Mr. Bill Powell of Powell Flooring. Hey, Rob and Wayne. I'm sending this over for some free stuff. Some of the stuff is funny and some is serious. And I'll tell you, I was just cracking up with some of the stuff that he learned from the podcast. What I have learned from the On the Floor with Wayne and Rob podcast. Number one, I have learned not to throw trowels at the head of my apprentices. Apparently, they don't like that.
There you go. All right. Try not to call the apprentices names. Well, depends.
Well, you see, he said try.
No, there you go. They said they
He,
did say,
he's, he's trying. Yeah.
yeah.
If you have an apprentice that gets a splinter and is a whiny bitch, take them, take them out the front door into the light to see the splinter and lock them out of the house.
Referring to a show that we had a apprentice on the job, and he was doing the stair treads, sanding the stair treads and risers. Got a splinter. The floors were all fine sanded. I worked fine final vacuuming for the stain. And he was a big kid, like 6'1", 6'2", and he got a splinter, and he started bleeding on the floor. So I said, hey, let me have a look at that. Let's go out in the light where you can see it. I brought him outside, and I closed the door and get out of here. You're bleeding on the floor. When we locked the door behind him, we didn't have time for this. We're vacuuming. We got to get stained today. You come here looking for sympathy?
Oh,
Getting
I love
called
it.
into HR is bad. That's on you,
Getting
buddy.
called, yeah, getting called into HR is bad. All
Yeah.
right, I'm glad that's something to learn from.
It's
Uh,
it's even worse on the second time, isn't it?
they really get picky with the fourth.
It's been a few times for you.
Yeah.
It's never happened to me.
How is that possible?
It's never happened because I'm a nice, decent person.
Oh my, you're the last person who's nice and decent.
I threaten people if they go to HR. What I
Ah,
do.
that's the key.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you finally do get called up to HR, it'll be a biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
No,
major.
I'm nice to everybody.
Okay, well, this one goes right with it. Try to stop being a grumpy old man.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's that's tough.
Tough. It is very
I
tough.
started the I started today grumpy.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah,
When we
yeah,
started the podcast, I was like, I don't even want to do it to you today because
exactly.
you're such a
Look,
foul mood.
yep. But you see, we talked about in the last podcast a little bit of
Yeah.
humor,
You worked
and
it,
now all of a sudden,
worked it
look at
out.
me. Look at me now, right?
There you go. A ray
I'm
of
Dean
sunshine.
Martin now. I'm Jerry Lewis.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Health is important, so I made my first doctor's appointment in 30 years last year. The only times I've been to the doctor since I was a teenager is when I dotted my eye or had to have holes sewn up in me. Bill's a tough dude, man. He's a certifiably tough dude. I mean, I would have loved to work with Bill at one point in my life to learn something from him. He's a smart, sage, damn good floor guy. I always only had the pleasure to be with him for a day or two in Florida on that Dave Marzalek project, we'll call it. And he is
The
as
Dave
dedicated.
Marzalek project sounds like a rock band.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. He did some unbelievable work there. Bill did. All the
You
guys
know,
did.
he came to Bill also came to the Christmas school in New Jersey,
Hmm.
and he was a big part of the inlay of the epoxy with the lights that got inlaid
Yeah, I can see that.
with that. So yeah,
He's an
he was
industry
all
guy.
over it.
He's an
Oh
industry
yeah,
guy. He
yep.
loves it. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's in the game, as we say. So
And every school that he does, he's always going to bring everybody a little jar of honey. And I think
hmm
that's why he's tough. He's a beekeeper.
yeah.
So how many times do you think he's been stung? Next time I see him, I'm going to ask him that. How many
Yeah.
times have you been stung? You probably too many to count.
Well, I'm glad he finally got a doctor's appointment after 30 years.
Yes. All right. I'll read the next one. AI could be my friend, but it may replace me in years to come. Oh, that AI.
Yeah, I don't.
The funny part about this and the AI thing, since you started doing AI poetry about me and
Mhm.
you and the
Wife.
business and my wife, and people love this. I've had so many guys at classes, or even when I'm on the tech line. I just had a call last week on the tech line, and the guy's like, "Is this Rob from the show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Man, how about Wayne writing your wife poetry?" And
Yeah,
I was just like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is great."
without Pauline. Hmm.
All right, this next
Uh,
one is all you. I love this
Okay,
one.
Mona loves Wayne Highlander. Rob Johnson, not so much. I think we can refer back to the HR ones on that. And
I think I think what he was talking about was also, yeah, the HR stuff, but also the hey Rob, you going to convention this year? You going to
yeah,
NWFA?
yeah,
Uh
nothing.
nope.
Yeah.
No, I ticked somebody off at the head office, so that one, I think out of all that he wrote, that was definitely my favorite one.
It'd be funny one day if you talk to somebody above me, which not very many. Um,
People above you don't even look in my direction. I'm not allowed to make eye contact.
well, you shouldn't, but if you ever do, and you go, talk about not going to convention, they're all going to say that Wayne said that Rob doesn't ever like to go. We always wanted to invite you, but Wayne said no. He doesn't want. He travels so much. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah. I figure the only way I'm ever going to find out is at my exit interview. So I really don't want to know.
Yeah. All right. You reading the next one?
Yeah. Wayne Highlander won Floor of the Year. Rob Johnson won Van of the Year. Biggest disaster.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Here,
Oh,
there it is.
it's still there after all this time.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, you
Wow.
know what's great about this?
Hmm.
Did you see uh
Yes.
the last Wood Floor magazine?
Yes.
He won.
He beat you. Yeah. He holds
He
the title.
he now has the title for
Yes.
biggest event. So
I thought it
Bill
was
and
the
I are
second time.
comrades in arms now.
Yeah.
Now we have that
Yeah.
true shared experience.
Absolutely. They should send you a trophy of a piece of junk van you could put on your desk. No disrespect.
Every one of my kids has a piece of that van, a hubcap, a steering wheel, um, the horn thing. They all have a little piece of that van.
Yeah. Well, when they say that, they make fun of the van, say, listen, that van fed you for all those years, right? Put you through school. Yeah.
Wayne,
Put a roof over your head.
they talk about that van like it was their favorite old dog.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
everybody, the kids always speak very highly about Vanny.
All right. The favorite episode is the wife episode, the one without Wayne and Rob. Ironically, that's a lot of people's favorite. The only show we were never on.
How many times have we heard that?
Yeah, yeah,
Matter of fact, I heard it so many times, I've stopped asking people what was
yeah.
your favorite episode.
My wife was so brutal on me that I don't think I'd want to have her back. She wasn't a good guest. Supposed to have a
Maybe
filter.
we'll have Judy do the interview and Eileen can, kind of portray your wife type of a thing, just to be a little nicer.
That would be.
Pauline just couldn't speak more highly of me.
Oh, she gushed about. That's what I told you. They go listen to his wife.
Listen to
Oh,
Pauline
how nice
on
she
that
is.
one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
All right.
You
Here
know
we
what
go.
though? They should do another one.
Yeah, they would.
I think it's time they do another one.
Judy would be up for that. Yeah.
All right. Are you okay with that though?
Yeah, yeah. We have no.
Maybe give her a little coaching, you know?
You can't
Maybe
coach
just
Judy.
just give her a little outline of some of your the high points that
Judy's like having Google when we have friends over, and I'll say something, and she goes, "No, Wayne, that didn't happen. That was in that was in," and I'll say, "Yeah, so and so's that's the biggest city in Arizona," and she'll have no problem going, "No, no, that's probably the second or third biggest because actually, so and so is the biggest." You go, babe, you could have just let that slide. All right.
Next one is mine. Falling asleep is easier if you concentrate on resting your face. It works. I know I talked about it, and I'm glad it's working for you, Bill. Um, Nothing puts me to sleep quicker. But you came up with, I think it was something about the Air Force guys who do that.
That does not
Yeah,
ring a bell to me at all.
yeah. You were telling me on the show, might have been the next show. Yeah, I'm
That
positive.
falling asleep is easier if you concentrate on resting your face. And I said something about the military people.
You said something about the airline, the guys, not the fighter, the bombers
Yeah.
who have to rest and they do something like that. What were you just BSing me?
That doesn't mean that I've never heard of such a thing in my life.
Oh my gosh. Not only have I been telling everybody, I said, oh yeah, Wayne was telling me the Air Force guys who have
Oh.
to sleep, run these bomber missions. They can't be tossing and turning, and they do something just like that. Concentrate on resting their face and their body. You had a whole thing. Oh, you're a good salesman.
I
You
had no,
you
that
got
doesn't,
me hook, line, and
I
sinker then.
does not ring any bells whatsoever.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Okay, next, I should drink more water, he learned. I'm bad at that. That's why I'm drinking water right now. My voice is gone, you can hear. But you thought I was crying on the last episode. I wasn't. Yeah, agreed.
Yep, absolutely. The water thing, huge. Not everyone gets a belt.
Less and less. Yeah, 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 less
Not
and less.
everyone gets a bell.
Oh, I gotta read this next one.
You got it. This is you.
Well, I can't say that last word on on the air.
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah, that's not.
All right. Well,
It's the context.
they can bleep it out if they have to.
Yeah.
Getting old isn't for. I would 100%. That's dead on. Beats the alternative, but yeah, everything hurts. Everything hurts as you get older, man.
All right. I'll talk about it this a little bit. I took a golf lesson the other day.
You're kidding.
I've been playing golf for 40 years. And I thought to myself, My game is getting worse." And they opened up a place 4 or 5 miles away, an indoor type golf place. So I took a I took a lesson the other day. Talk about getting old and everything hurts, right? So the coach says, "Listen, He goes, the only way that we can fix this is you're gonna have to feel uncomfortable. He goes, because you keep doing the same thing. I go, yeah, hey man, I am clay. You do whatever you got to do, okay? I just want to keep the ball in the fairway. I'm sick of chasing it. So he's got me doing a complete turn, right? And it was like a half hour, 45 minutes of this. And he goes, hey, take some ibuprofen when you get home. You're gonna feel. And I'm looking at him like, look, man,
Yeah. Time to
listen,
man here.
you don't gotta worry about me,
Yeah.
okay? You don't have to worry about me. He goes, yeah, get some water before you go to bed. And I go, listen, if you only knew what I've done in my life, okay?
Yeah.
Swinging a golf club for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I woke up the next morning like, son of a gun. This guy couldn't have been more right. Just using muscles that
Yeah.
never used before. And here I'm mocking the guy where I should have just shut up and did what he said.
Ouch. All right. Oh, you got the next one.
Uh, you can get more chicks being in a rock band than you can doing floors. Uh, I would say it's close. I would
Uh,
say it's close.
you think?
I did a training in Connecticut back in March, and the second day of the training, this guy owns, I don't know, six or eight floor stores, and they're all managed by the managers, some of the sales, and we're all women. And when I showed them the Jeremiah Strong iron acetate trick, uh, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I have never been that popular with women in my entire life, ever. And they wanted, every one of them wants it in their showroom. They want, so
They want the what?
they want the iron acetate look on some of the samples in their showroom.
Wow.
So, yeah, the rock guys might get it, but
You
the
got the
iron acetate,
Van
the
Halen
iron
guitar
acetate guys are
solo.
going to get it too.
Yeah. Iron acetate solo, Van Halen guitar solo. I would say it's close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Customer expectations are important. Yep, we talk about it all the time, probably too much. I don't think we can talk about it too much, but yeah, agreed. All right, got two left.
You skipped one again. Boy, you're skipping everything.
Damn, I did, didn't I?
Using Bona Green Guard Gold certification to sell projects on higher rates. Thank you,
I'm
Bill.
glad he got that.
That is just free money. We talk about it and talk about it, and I hope people are like, all right, I'm going to try it just because I can't listen to these guys anymore.
Yeah,
We just put money in your pockets, everybody.
yep. All right. Get down to the one. I'm glad the last one is the that he kept that for last. So you do that one. Some of the best jobs are the ones you don't get. Amen. Amen. I think we all know that.
Oh
Sometimes
my
you just don't
gosh,
want the
huh?
job.
Especially with the lunatics that are calling the tech line, these homeowners. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I wish there. It's amazing how many people will call and go, "Yeah, he's coming tomorrow," and I just want to be able to tell him what to do. And if I knew who the guy was, I swear I'd call him and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
run,
Run.
run,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just get away." Okay.
Well, we're in an era where your feelings are the truth now. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. If you feel a certain way, then you must be right. If those are your feelings, then that trumps everything. So it puts you in a pretty bad position as if you're in, dealing with a client like that.
All right. Well, this is it. This is Bill Powell's last, what he learned on the show of 7 years of listening. A rising tide raises all ships.
Got a
We
bill?
got it, right?
Yeah.
We never got that one right. Bill figured it out for us.
First time I ever seen it in writing too. I couldn't believe it. He got it right.
He got it
No.
right on the nose.
Uh, Thank you very much. It's for listening to the show, Bill Powell. It's an honor that you listen to it and just having some fun here. So thank you for the email. Thank you for all that. We couldn't read everybody's emails, and thank you for everybody that did send them in. Uh, if you didn't win, it's because Eileen picked them, not us. Sorry, Eileen.
Nice. Blame
Just kidding.
Eileen.
Just kidding. So. All right. Well, that's all we got, Rob. It's going to be a short show. We just wanted to thank the listeners more than anything and everybody that sent in the emails and text messages for the contest. So this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.